All right.
Third time's the charm.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Just Say G and Alec Foster here from episode 300, where real fans talk real life. We talk about sports, music, and all that good stuff. And we're back with another episode talking about the Jordan doc. And before we go on to that, we want to say thank you to all those that have watched our last interview with David Elliott. Definitely enjoyed having him on, and hope to bring other athletes and entertainers on in the future. So definitely appreciate y'all. And continue to like, rate, review, subscribe wherever you watch there or are going to watch the show. So thank you guys for that. And now going forward to where we are now with the Jordan doc, we've reached the finale. Everybody's been it's a sad ending because it's a great moment that we got with the last episodes, but it feels like there's nothing left after that. Like, what do we do now? We're back to nothing. So we're trying to figure it out, but there's a whole lot there that we got from the finale that we definitely can address. So what did you think of it all, just in short, and then we'll deep dive it in a second.
Yeah, well, in totality, I thought it was a great documentary, very well put together. It was nice to get the context around many of the situations we knew about in the past, but we didn't have that inside access like they gave the cameras. So it was definitely cool to see. I think for us, it further confirmed that Mike is the GOAT, and for many others too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be tough. After these 5 weeks, I've been waiting for Sunday evenings, but now I'm going to be suffering from withdrawals.
Oh, yeah.
With this being over, so.
Yeah, I agree with you. It definitely was a great 5 weeks that we got from this Jordan doc. Definitely confirmed what we thought about Jordan, and I definitely loved what I got from all of it. I love the deep dives we got on all the key players there, as we'll touch on a little bit more in a minute. But in short, it definitely was a great doc that deserves all the praise that it has already received and will receive in the future. So love it all. Yeah. And now with these last 2 episodes, Reggie, man, we told you not to talk, bro. We told you to chill out. We said
Reggie was a good opponent, though. Reggie,
he was.
Mike put some respect on his name too.
Yeah, Mike showed him some love. We said at the end of the last 2 episodes that you don't poke that bear, man. And he thought he was going to come in and be the one to end the dynasty.
Right?
No, it's not happening. I'm sorry, Mike is different. And something else I wanted to acknowledge with that, though, just his Reggie even thinking that's possible points to something that I saw someone we've alluded to on the show a few times. Rashad Phillips. He pointed out how many guys when guys in the league and there are other heralded players, once they're on the court, they don't see them as how the fans do. I know fans lifted up Michael Jordan to this day. I know Larry Bird called him God, and even Reggie Miller himself called him Black Jesus and stuff. But once they got on the court, Reggie's like, I'm coming to take your head off. I'm coming to end this dynasty. So I definitely appreciate the competitiveness
as you should
of it all. Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. That was the first thing. And then to see how there were moments in there where it seemed like the Pacers had them. The Pacers were up double digits times and had it and were trying to run away, but the Bulls kept pulling back and fighting back, and they would got that one tip with 6 minutes left in Game 7 or wherever that was, and Steve Kerr took 3.
Yeah, it took him to 7.
Yeah. And all of a sudden everything changes. So yeah, just the perseverance of the Bulls during that last season with everything going on, what was amazing to see. And yeah, that team definitely deserves all the praise that it received. So yeah, definitely enjoyed the start to that doc. So what did you think of that battle that they started off with? Excuse me.
Yeah, it was nice to see someone who, like Reggie said himself, like respected Mike but didn't fear him like other people did.
Right.
So he was willing to go right at his neck. And Mike, like I said, he showed him some love too, saying that the Pacers were probably his second toughest opponent to the Detroit Pistons, who just beat him up, weren't even playing basketball at certain points.
Right.
But yeah, it was cool to see those battles. I mean, they had battled and knew each other in the past too, because they played at those UCLA runs when Reggie was at UCLA, and Space Jam runs that they had too when he was filming that. So they knew each other well. They showed them after Game 2 or whatever, talking to each other it's going to be a battle, whatever. So there was still love there, but when it was time to go on the court, they flipped the switch. It it wasn't all buddy,
Right.
Which I think is the difference between the league now and the league then. People were trying to compare and say like, oh, like everyone talks about how the league's too buddy now, but Mike and Reggie were chopping it up after the game, but it wasn't the same. Mike was gonna kill you once we stepped on the floor. So,
now they're while the game's still playing too. Like it's a little bit different. Like you can kind of tell when guys don't go as hard at each other because they got relationships off the court. So yeah. That's where the difference comes from.
Yeah, but it was nice to see. And then after they ended up beating the Pacers in Game 7, you saw Larry Bird like come up to Mike and they exchanged a few words afterwards. But that kind of stuff was cool to see.
Definitely enjoyed all of that. And then we you want to continue with the basketball stuff, or you want to go to the players next? Because there's a whole lot there that we got in between there, and then the final series, both final series between them and the Jazz.
Wherever you want to go. Where do you want to
go? Let's just go to with the Jazz then, because there's a whole lot there, and then we'll bounce back to all the players and things that were addressed as well. So then we go on to the Jazz, and we see all the battles that they went through, and it's crazy that the Jazz got there twice with the competition they got through as well. The West has always been tough, and they still were a step ahead, and those guys were resilient and tough. And John Stockton is ridiculous and proves why he's one of the greatest point guards ever, and Karl Malone showed why he was elite as well. Hard to acknowledge him.
I think they went through those young Lakers, because that was when Kobe had those 3 air balls in that one game.
Right. So fought through all those teams and things, and got to the finals twice, and thought they were going to finally get over the hump, but Jordan wasn't letting that happen. So even at times when they put up a good fight, Jordan would shut them down. So it's been acknowledged multiple times now that Jordan never went to a Game 7 in the finals, and we saw it both times in these series. Why? Once the opportunity even came, even though the Jazz would step up and try to win a game and try to switch the momentum of the series, Jordan would snatch it right back and shut things down. So definitely was crazy to see. Then also in the midst of that, I'm kind of bouncing between all of it, but we have the flu game, we have Dennis Rodman going to the WWE, and just all this stuff is going on. And it was just, it's like how they were able to win even with those kind of things going on. It was just amazing to see. So I thoroughly enjoyed all of that.
Yeah, we need a sole 30 for 30 doc on Dennis Rodman. Another one, because I think there might be one already, but we need more footage. We need more footage for Dennis Rodman. 30 for 30 keeps it too clean. We need an HBO. We need a Star special.
Well,
the Last Dance was uncensored too. It wasn't clean, which I appreciated too.
It was, but it wasn't. Like they didn't go all the way. They could have showed Dennis a little bit more. We talked about
they gonna show like Dennis Rodman orgies or something. Like we can't get all that, Garrett. Jeez. I'm not trying to say that. They didn't really give us a deep dive into what happened, like when he went to Vegas, or Robin was talking about how his goal was to, he said, like, get rebounds, win championships, and fuck girls. And so he had some kind of. I'm like, we didn't get enough of that deep dive. So and we saw Carmen Electra in the hotel after the 98 series win. So right.
So sheesh. Yeah, we gotta get just a solo Dennis Rodman doc for sure. A whole lot there that needs to be looked at. So definitely crazy stuff there. And then, as I mentioned, also the flu game, which really wasn't the flu. I guess it was more of the food poisoning game, or however you want to. Mike got hungry in the middle of the night and got pizza, and I don't know why he didn't call up
five dudes pull up to deliver the pizza.
Come on, bro. I was to take this back immediately. They definitely tried to poison you, bro. So that seems to be
Mike must have been real hungry if he was going to eat that. Like, come on, bro. Like that had to feel sketchy. Like you never get more than one person delivering your pizza. Like,
and it's weird too, because like it's Michael Jordan. Like, if he wants a pizza, even if there's no room service, you call downstairs. Michael Jordan wants pizza, and you let them figure it out. There's got to be some better way, rather than him calling and trying to find some random spot to bring him something. It ends up being what it was. So it was all weird all around, but he got the flu or whatever you want to call it, and found him having the determination he had, still fought through it all, and put up the game that he did in that game 5, and got the job done for them. So it was
played 44 minutes, dropped 38. And man, and you could just see him collapse into Scotty's arms after that last like game clinching shot. The mental toughness is like one of the biggest things that makes Mike the GOAT too, just to be able to battle through those type of adverse situations, and still be the one to take the shot too. I mean, we saw other episodes where he knew he was going to get doubled, like when he passed it off to Steve Kerr.
Right.
But many times, like, the ball was going to be in his hands. He's going to be the one to win the game for sure. So.
Exactly. So definitely enjoy all of that. Another thing too, as we just kind of stick with this, the final series, were the games like, what was it like how it is now, where it's like you have a day break and then it's on to the next one, or is there a bigger gap?
I think so.
So yeah,
I think it was like a day break. Yeah.
My point in bringing that up is that the food poisoning, I don't know if that just goes away in a day. Like, he still might have been feeling symptoms going into that game 6 as well.
Yeah.
He still might have been a little bit sick going into that game as well.
I mean, he was probably a little weak because he couldn't keep food down for like a day. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't just be sick for a day and then just snap out of it. Like, it takes a little while to recover. So even at his level, I know that game 6, even as difficult as it was just by itself, having that happen just a couple of days earlier definitely put a little more weight onto him. So both games were crazy.
Utah be playing dirty, man. I don't know about those Utah fans.
Always, man. Always. I don't know what it is. Something's in the water in Utah, man. They gotta figure that out. So it definitely was impressive to see. And then going to that game 6. And Mike putting that dagger on Byron Russell. That shot is still one of the greatest shots of all time. People are starting to look closer to the pictures of that.
The sixth championship you're talking about?
Yeah, the 6th championship. I'm kind of bouncing around, but with that last shot, people, like I said, people are starting to kind of deep dive a little bit closer to the picture. And somebody found that if you look closer, like down the middle, as he's shooting a shot, up behind the scoreboard, a few rows back, there's a kid in the background holding up the 6 in the air as the ball is going into the rim. So just knowing that shot was the one that was going to give them that 6th championship, just the impact of it all, that being the last shot of Jordan's career for the moment, it definitely was an amazing send-off, and the end of a great run that we wish we could have got longer, but for what it was, still was one of the greatest we have ever seen. So definitely
right.
An amazing moment that I'm glad we got to get a closer look at.
Yeah. Something too that we also saw for the first time was we got to hear from a couple of Jordan's kids. Like, I was wondering that too while we were watching this. Like, what about his family? They just kind of glossed over like getting married and his kids. Like,
hey, you should mean, hey, fuck them kids. We ain't thinking about them. We want to see Mike.
Yeah, I mean, Mike was in control of the footage and all that. So, I mean, it had to be intentional that they weren't really a part of it very much. But his kids even talked about how, like, hostile environment Utah was and how his parents didn't even want them there.
Right.
Just because of how crazy it could get there. The fans could get there. But, I mean, yeah, it was nice to see that the kids were at least acknowledged for once.
They're there. We see you. I think after what's his name, Marcus got bullied by Eric Gordon at one time, Michael just kind of left him alone.
Yeah, that was rough. 40. I think he put like 40 on his head or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And it was rough.
which brings me to back to the I think it was that sixth finals, but I think they beat the Jazz by like 40 in one of those games. I was like, God damn! Like,
Jerry Bone. He was like, "This is the final score."
They only scored 52 points. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, I know the game was like slower. It was more defensive minded a little back then, but like, damn. Like, you beat by 40?
I know. Jeez. Yeah, that's straight bully ball right there, man. But like I said, though, I think that was like game 3. But the Jazz came back and won the next game, I thought, and then Jordan did what he did for the following 2. So
they still fought.
Even if it be like that, they still found something in them and were able to get another win after that. So that wasn't the final stamp. They were able to bounce back a little bit. So definitely crazy though. So yeah, definitely those games were crazy. And then as we kind of transition more to the players, another part of the documentary that was crazy to watch as well. They talked a little bit more about Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr hit his roles. I kind of alluded to it earlier when I talked about him hitting that shot in Game 5 or whatever that was of whichever series that I'm blanking on. It's all jumped up in my head, but
I think it's the fifth championship run.
The 5th championship run.
Yeah,
hit that one shot to cement their lead and all of that. They after that used that to kind of help deep dive more into who Steve Kerr was, talking about his family as well, and. I don't think I remember that story about his father. I don't remember hearing that. So
I don't think I knew it before, to be honest.
Yeah, so it definitely was something interesting to see. And he himself said him and Mike never talked about what happened to their fathers. And it's just amazing, just crazy that they both went through that during their careers. So the resilience that Steve Kerr had definitely was someone opposite of MJ in regards to his path to the league. Someone who barely made it to college and got to Arizona and did what he did there, and then bounced around the league a little bit, and then found his way to Chicago and found his role and held on to it and did the best that he could and got him the rings that it did. So we definitely salute Steve Kerr, and even more now amazed at his story, adding all of that. And then you can stop there with the 6 rings. And then you fast forward, and now he's the head coach of another great dynasty of all time as well. And it's just like, man, he's just he definitely has crazy stories to tell. So definitely
lived a good life. Lived a good life for sure. Sure. I mean, that's tough. Obviously, losing your father that was while he was at Arizona too,
right?
In college. So I mean, heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to watch and hear about, but just for him to battle through that and get to where he's got today is crazy.
Definitely commendable.
Yeah, for sure.
This is kind of a different route with that, but something I kind of snickered at in the midst of it all was just how Mark Jackson has kind of getting bullied by Steve Kerr in forever, it seems like.
That's true.
Can't get past
he was on that Pacers team,
gets beat by them, and while they're playing together, all of a sudden, fast forward decades, and he's now coaching the Warriors, loses his job. Steve Kerr pops up again. It's like, man, leave me alone. Like, can I just win something, please?
That's true. And I don't think they didn't interview Mark Jackson for The Last Dance. He wasn't in it, was he?
No, I don't think so.
So maybe Mike doesn't like him or something like that. Because I feel like you would have Mark Jackson in there.
I don't know why nobody likes Mark Jackson for. We got to deep dive that or something. But yeah, he wasn't in it either. But him being the ESPN guy, you would have thought he would have had some kind of involvement in it. But oh well.
Right.
I don't know. No story for another day.
Nobody messing with Pastor Jackson, man.
I guess not. I guess not. But yeah, as now bounce back to all the stuff going on with the Bulls, definitely crazy stories amongst it all. And I enjoy it all. Where do you want to go next? I'm kind of at a loss. I feel like we touched all the main stuff.
Yeah, just kind of wrapping up the ending too. When like Mike found out, they had the clip of Jerry Reinsdorf saying like why it was The Last Dance, like why they're going to break it up. And Mike was like, oh, like I'm interested to hear this because I've never really gotten an answer. And he definitely didn't seem content with it. Like I personally wasn't even content with the answer either. Right. Jerry Reinsdorf was basically saying like we were gonna have to pay all these guys, and that would have been suicide. So we just blew it up.
Because man,
like what? Like
rings.
It is funny because that's what like Mark Cuban did like the same thing with that Mavericks team that won. Like they just blew it up completely right after they won, and they haven't been to the mountaintop again. It's like we've seen that doesn't like the main what's the word? I can't think of the word exactly, but like something big in basketball is like you run it back. Like the team that wins, you run it back right next game. But like to just blow it up right after and not give those guys who've proven they can do it 6 times, not give them at least one more opportunity to see, can we go for that 7th? Like, I don't know. I understand Mike's feelings of wanting to that shot.
Yes. You also have a Michael Jordan who it seemed like he didn't want to retire, but he did because of all the stuff that was going on. And also in doing so, he felt like he retired with a lot left on the table. He felt like he had one more run left in him.
Yeah. He said he felt like he was in his prime still. Like, that was his best year.
If you have the greatest player of all time on your team saying, I want to play another year, let that man play. Give him everything he wants. Let him do what he wants to do. Figure out for one more year, hold off. And then you can rebuild if you want to rebuild so bad after that. Right. Because for him to have to leave that on the table, even if he would have came back and lost, him still going 6 out of 7 or whatever the case would have been, like that still would have. You gotta just let that play out and let it go until the wheels fall off. So
and Mike was like, you don't think if they offered each guy like a 1-year contract to come back, they wouldn't have accepted it to try to get that 7th? Like,
exactly.
Like, come on, man. Like,
or even if guys didn't want to come back, there were little trades that you could have did. You could have maneuvered and found ways to put back together a championship roster, moving around guys that from what were there. So I think they missed their mark on that. And I mean, it's good they missed their mark because they haven't got back since. So
that's what I was saying too. Right after it ended, I was like, and they haven't won shit since.
Right. Exactly. So they went. They got guys like Ron Artest and Tyson Chandler, who have great careers, but weren't really good on the Bulls when they first got picked up.
Not for the Bulls, Right.
So, them going. They in a way they drafted the right guys, but they were just in the wrong situation to utilize them how they needed to be used.
And
so
that's where the blame goes back on Jerry Krause too. I mean, you can give him tons of credit for building that squad,
right?
That won 6 rings, but he's also the same man that tore it apart and wasn't able to rebuild it. He was so focused on rebuilding, and they haven't been able to rebuild it since. The closest was like D Rose, but D Rose knees were made of paper. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough goal for Mike to swallow. It seemed like he still is not like happy with it. Like he still wishes he got that chance to go for 7.
I also feel like he still wishes the Bulls had some more success. Like that still seems to be a strong bond to the Bulls, which is funny because I mean he owns the Hornets now. Like you could give another team you're coaching. Like I know you want the Bulls to win, but you got other obligations you signed up for now. So you got to figure that out. So and you can kind of say he's been doing a poor Jerry Krause copying with his career with the Hornets
as an owner.
He's got to figure out how to get the pieces there to get his own dynasty going. So it's been it's sad that we get to see it end the way that Mike would have wanted it to, but oh well, we still got a forever great career out of it. ESPN ran and did a poll comparing him versus LeBron. I guess
that poll was so trash.
It was trash, but it was funny too. They only did for kids, like for people 18 and up, and they were like, because kids 18 and under probably wouldn't know about Mike at all, or something like that was their reasoning. So they were like, "Who's the best dresser?" And they just did everything. And every single poll, Mike was ahead by.
Mike was better. I was like, "All right, this is not the most like accurate thing." Like, it also when it was talking basketball wise, it had like Mike as the better passer, and I was like, "All right, like that's one of the things LeBron like." LeBron is clearly like a top 5 passer like ever.
I know we hit on LeBron a lot, but come on now. I would say that Michael is an underrated passer, but I'm not sure of LeBron.
The same way Kobe was.
Right. So ESPN is doing their propaganda right now real hard.
Which is actually like surprising to see because they're usually like LeBron center. Like that's what they get banged on a lot for, like just propping up LeBron in every situation possible, talking about LeBron. And this time they've swung to the Michael Jordan side. So I was kind of surprised to see that.
Yes. Do you think could that I mean, when LeBron was pushing for it to be released to begin with, they're like, okay, LeBron wants us to let's just push the MJ agenda to show the world what LeBron saw, to show the world what everyone saw, and we're just gonna push this. I don't think they necessarily meant it to actually be against LeBron like that, but trying to further the MJ agenda because of other guys kind of asking for it may have been a reason. I don't know, just spitballing, but yeah, it definitely has been funny to watch. So. Definitely a great documentary. I don't know how the award shows work these days. If it can win any awards, it deserves whatever awards.
It probably could be recognized like by the Emmys or something like that.
Yeah, it deserves something because to have the whole world, or the whole sports world, captivated for 5 weeks like that, and loving it, all the memes that popped out of it, all the reaction to it, everything that came from it, like it definitely deserves all the praise that that's on its way. So. Yeah, right. I enjoyed it all, and now we just sink back into nothing.
Well, I will say I saw today that they're going to be airing Game 6 of that last finals, the '98 finals, with like the Last Dance cameras footage as well too. So that could be interesting to watch.
Fully enhanced HD, 1080p, whatever you call it. There's all the little extras to it to give us the full experience. I still want to see Wilt's 100 games, so they got to find some footage of that.
Please. We need to see this.
It's about time.
I need proof.
Y'all keep digging up old clips of stuff we've seen a billion times. Well, all the extra enhancements. No, just give us stuff we haven't seen yet. Give me the Wilt 100. That's what we need. So somebody can find that tape. Just one highlight of the game. I haven't seen one highlight from the game or nothing. Like all we got is him holding the paper, nothing else. So
right.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. So yeah, definitely. I'm still gonna. I'm around on Wednesday, so I'll sit down and watch it. And
I'm gonna check it out.
Hope they find some more footage of other stuff to bring back as well. So that's all I got in regards to the doc. That's all I got. I don't know. Anything else you wanted to talk about real quick?
No, just my last question to you would be: what documentary or what team would you like to see a documentary of next? I've seen people talking about wanting like Kobe's Last Dance. I think it's way too soon. Like we had to wait 22 years or whatever for Mike. So
I think that's also inevitable. Like I feel like that's bound to happen. So I kind of I've seen that question bounce around, and I kind of eliminated them because I felt like it was going to happen one way or another. So that's one. Did you have someone you want to say first?
I was going to say the young, like the Lakers dynasty. So like the 96, 97 to 2004 Lakers would be interesting for me to watch. I mean, because it's been like 20 some years since that team too.
Right.
And that's me personally, that's like the second best team all time. So I would love to see that. If they had, I don't know if anyone else gave like all access footage like Mike did. Hopefully other teams did, other great teams did. But if they have some footage like that, I would love to see that Lakers dynasty.
My first thought, to be honest, was the Spurs. I feel like they were always used as the boring, just well-oiled machine that just came in and got shit done. I want to see how they maintained that for so long, how they were able to maneuver through whatever dramas may have came their way that we may not even known about, but they kept it quiet and kept pushing through. I want to see about how Greg Popovich grew into the all-time great coach that he became, how they kept finding all these Euro guys and whoever the case may have been, and then to the Kawhi era and all the stuff that led to that as well. There definitely is at least some kind of dramas in there that would have been that way interesting or just even informative, even if it's not the drama that Mike was, just something informative, because we have a view of them like they always kind of get glossed over because it's the Spurs, they're boring, but they get the job done or whatever. There is more to them than just that, and I would love to see what that was. So the Spurs were the first thought.
Yeah, that would definitely be an interesting one for sure to see like their personalities behind the scenes too, because like you talked about Kawhi, him and Tim Duncan like are very stoic people like on the court, but to see like kind of what was happening like in that locker room behind the scenes, whatever. Yeah, that would be cool to see.
Parkers and the Mount Ginobili's and all the other guys that were in there during that
Bruce
time.
Bowen.
Yeah. All that kind of stuff. I would enjoy watching that. So that definitely is one. And we'll see. I can't think of anybody else, but the Spurs definitely is a good one in my eyes. So definitely great stuff. And as we mentioned, I hope it opens the floodgates for many more to follow. So that's our reaction to the finale of the Jordan Last Last Dance documentary. Excuse me. And yeah, we'll be back with more great content very soon. So appreciate you guys for watching this episode. Appreciate you guys that have been watching, that tuned in since we started dropping a lot more episodes on YouTube. Continue to like, rate, review, subscribe, all that stuff. Follow us on Instagram, Section.300, on Twitter, Section.300 Pod. I'm your host, Just Say G, or just G. I'm saying Just Say G, but I read it out because that's the at. Just Say G is the at. Right. G, whatever you want to call me. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm here with Alec, bro. You want to give it a quick shout out as we head out?
Shout out?
Yeah, we haven't known in a while.
Man, you caught me. Sorry.
Shout out Carmen Electra. I won't get up.
Hey, she still is good. I think she's like 40 something, 40. I don't know, but she still look all right. So yeah, we'll stick with that one. We'll stick with that one.
All right, bro. Yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all again very soon. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Deuces.